flash your device, you are going to need a micro SD card so you can slot it into the side of your device. On the M8 and the T8 Android TV boxes, you've got a little slot on the right hand side of the box that allows you to put one of these SD cards in. You are going to need at least 1 gig of space on this. So once you've got one of these, I'll show you what to do. Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to easily update your firmware on your M8 or your T8 Android TV box. What you will need is a micro SD card that you need to insert into your device. It needs to have at least 1 gig of spare memory. So once you've inserted your SD card into the side of your M8 or your T8 device, you should have a little symbol here just to point out you've got your SD card in. So we've got our SD card in. What we need to do is download the files required. So we'll go to droid6.co.uk, go to our downloads, go to our firmware downloads, and you can see from here we've got our firmwares for our devices that we sell. This method can be used on the M8 or T8. I'm using a T8, so I'm going to download the T8 firmware. What we need to do first is download this app. This app allows your device to reboot into recovery mode, so you will not need to use a PIN in order to get your device to start to recover. So now we've downloaded that app, we also download the Droid6 latest firmware. This is the Kodi edition. You can see a little symbol pointing up in the middle to say that the download started. So from here, I'm going to go back to my apps and I'm going to go to my downloads folder. From here, I keep an eye on the progress of my downloads. So this recovery reboot app was quite a small file, so it downloaded instantly. The firmware will take a little bit longer. You can see it's in progress. So what we need to do is we'll come out of here, we'll let the T8 firmware download, and we're going to install that Reboot to Recovery app. So you will need File Manager HD in order for this to work, and also your device needs to be rooted in order to use this method. You can still use the full recovery method using a PIN if your device isn't rooted, and then from then on you'll be able to use this method, as all of our latest firmwares have the Reboot to Recovery app already installed. So we'll go to File Manager and we go to our downloads. We can see here we've got our Reboot to Recovery app we downloaded. We're going to click on that and install. You will need root access to install this app. Okay, now that's done, we'll go to Done. We'll come back out of here and we'll just go check the progress of our firmware. You can see it's on 66%. So I'll just wait for that to download fully. Okay, so now that's downloaded and we can see it's finished. We'll just come back out of here, go back into our file manager, and we'll go to our downloads folder. And you can see the T8 firmware or the M8 firmware, whichever one you downloaded, and we're going to use this to go inside it. This is why you need File Manager HD, because you can open up zip files with ease. A lot of file managers don't do this. So once we open up the folder, you can see another zip file and 2 other files. What we need to do is we need to copy these to our storage, to our SD card. So in order to do this, I'm going to click Multi, and then I'm going to highlight all 3 of them. And once I've highlighted them, I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to go to my storage, and this is my SD card. So if you click storage on the left, it will take you to your SD card, and we're going to paste these into the SD card. This will take a couple of seconds. So now that's copied over to our SD card, we'll just check. So we'll go to Home, and this is our home folder. Click on Storage, and you can see we've got our 3 files in our storage. It's very important you do not unzip this file or edit this file in any way. Now all three of them files are on your SD card. All we need to do is close down this app, go to My Apps, and look for the Reboot to Recovery app that we just installed. So this is it here. So all we need to do is click on this, and it will ask us, do we want to reboot to recovery? And we say yes. Just grant SuperSU permission to the app to allow it to reboot into recovery mode. And that will start to flash your firmware for you without the need of inserting a PIN method. So that's how easy it is to upgrade your firmware on your M8 or T8. All you need to do is wait for this bar to completely go across to the other end. Your device will then reboot and start up with a new firmware. It might take a couple of seconds longer to load the first time, but once it's complete, everything should be working as normal. I hope this has helped. This is brought to you by droidsticks.co.uk.